What nice guys can learn from obsession.
So I recently watched the movie Obsession to see what all the hype was about, and I could see why it did well. I could see why it blew up. Number one, because it had good writing and a good storyline. And number two, the acting was good. I think the girl probably came out the best optics-wise. Listen, I grew up watching horror movies, jump scares, demonic stuff. I've seen all of it, right? Like, nothing really gets to me. I'm not really the reactive type of person. There was one scene in the movie that actually gave me goosebumps. Like, I got uncomfortable. But it was the scene where the main character of the movie, the guy, Bear, he woke up in the middle of the night and she was hiding in the corner, and then she began creeping up to him.
I feel like that was an excellent scene in the movie. But one thing that I do want to give flowers to, and what he already said, like, even if you're a person who's watched a ton of horror movies, like, this isn't your typical horror with the blood and guts and the demonic possession, the upside down crosses and all that stuff. Like, they don't take that aspect route. And I think that's why most people, especially the younger crowds, are falling in love with this movie, because yes, it's a horror movie in a sense, but it's something that it just seems real. You know what I'm saying? It seems like something that can happen to the everyday person. And even if it doesn't happen to the everyday person, you can see yourselves in some of the characters. You can feel the characters. You can understand them. And another thing with this movie does is like a good job of constantly keeping you on your toes, constantly keeping you uneasy. I hear some people say that there's like a lot of good cringiness. I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't know what that means, but I never see, like, there's not moments where it's cringy to me. There's moments where the scenes, they're prolonged to make you feel uneasy, unnerved. You're like, the moment your fucking cortisol is starting to spike, you're waiting for that relaxation point within the movie that ultimately feels like it never comes. Like, and a lot of horror movies do have that. Like, when you're watching a horror movie, you ain't just seeing death, murder, madness the entire time. No, there's going to be times where you can feel the buildup, you can feel something's about to happen, you feel a jump scares coming, but then there's a time where the characters, the characters are relaxed. The characters are, you know what I'm saying? You gotta give the characters time to build that emotion up, that moment up for the next time that the killer appears. But in this movie, Obsession, there's no clear cut just killer horror. The horror is, it's on at all times, and it's not always scary, but it's ominous. Damn, did we say that right? It's ominous. I'm not gonna keep trying to say that word. That's a hard ass word. But like, you just feel eerie the entire film, especially like from I not want to say like the beginning, but like all the way up into the cat scene, because some, like, cat people, they don't like the fact that to see dead cats in movies. A lot of people don't like seeing dead animals in movies anyway. Like some shit like Pet Cemetery. That was one of the movies that freaked me out, because it's the dead animals and the kids and all that. Like, yeah. But yeah, the movie does a good job of constantly keeping you on the edge of your seat and not allowing you to just sit back and ease. Like, all right, we can breathe until the next 10 or 15 minutes when the next jumps. No, there's no relaxation. We're on your ass the whole film.
In this weird way. And then she took a plant and covered her face and creeped right beside him and shuffled next to his bed. Like, bro, I got uncomfortable. It gave me goosebumps. So props to her. The acting was really good. And the third reason why it blew up is because the movie appealed to the younger demographic, right? Which is how film blows up nowadays. Is if you can kind of get it to pop on social media, on TikTok for that virality and the clips spread around, people are going to go naturally watch the movie. Like, social media is the key to everything. And the main demographic is the younger demographic, right? That's where all the money's at. So I can see why this movie blew up and did really well. But the reaction to this movie was the interesting part. And I was watching some reviews afterwards, a bit of TikTok, Twitter, to see the sentiment. And somehow this movie started a gender war. Like, a lot of people, more so girls, absolutely hate the main character of the movie, the guy Bear. And if you guys haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert, basically what happens is that the main character, the guy Bear, he has a crush on this girl who's his friend Nikki, and he finds this charm that he makes a wish on, and he wishes that she loves him more than anybody else in the world. The wish comes true and her spirit gets possessed and she becomes obsessed with him to the point of insanity. But the real crux of the movie came from the fact that he was the one that was obsessed with her, right? To the point where he was willing to accept being with her even though he knew that it wasn't the real her. And what I thought was interesting was that the opening scene of the movie was him rehearsing his confession to her like the classic nice guy, right? He watches her every move, he puts her on a pedestal, he kind of romanticizes her every action. And it's funny because this girl that he put on a pedestal was hooking up with his best friend. It's kind of the antithesis to the classic nice guy take from Hollywood rom-coms back in the 2000s, where the main character nice guy falls in love with the girl who's with the asshole, and through his effort and through his valor, he gets the girl in the end. This was the case where the main character nice guy was the villain of the story, where he wasn't really nice, he was just this shy, meek, and passive dude. And I've spoken about this like 20 times, but society oftentimes conflates nice guys with shy guys all the time, when in reality, kindness and passivity can be completely mutually exclusive. Just because a guy is shy and passive, that doesn't necessarily make him nice. And just because a guy is nice, that doesn't make him shy and passive. But at the same time, both things can also be true where a guy is shy and nice at the same time. But what it really goes to show is that women absolutely hate passivity on men. Like, they have a natural disdain towards guys that are passive. Like, the weakness of passivity on a guy, it irritates them. And there was even a scene in the movie in the beginning where the guy Bear is driving the girl Nikki home, and when he parks in front of her house, he's trying to muster up the courage to let her know how he feels, and he can't. So she literally says to him, like, "Do you like me? If so, now's the time to tell me."
And I like how he touched on that, where it's like, it's a difference between being a nice guy because you're nice and being a nice guy because you're passive, you're timid, you don't have the confidence to speak on how you feel. So with that aspect, I believe, especially I want to touch on the scene like he's about to touch on now, where it's like she literally says, "Do you like me? And if you do, now is your time to tell me." And he just can't get it out. I believe most women can relate to that feeling, that frustration, because it's like I can feel it, I can sense it. There's some things that you really don't have to say. You don't gotta put it in the air, you don't gotta put it in the universe, because you can feel it, but you never truly know because the person doesn't express it. They don't say it. They don't verbalize it. And that's one of the most irritating things for men and women, like being around somebody that that you could potentially like them, or even if you don't like them, they're kind of walking on eggshells and not being like, it's almost like they're not telling you the truth. They're keeping something from you. And yes, it's their feelings and they're entitled to keeping their feelings inside. But if those feelings are directed to you, whether you can reciprocate those or not, you would like to know. You want to know. So I believe that's where the frustration, where I believe women, and this, I'm not a woman, obviously, but that's, if I had to guess, I believe that's where a big part of the frustration comes, is because women's intuition is a real thing. I believe everybody has intuition. Everybody has that gut feeling, but I believe it's strong within women because they just have this weird ass sense of knowing shit or figuring shit out, or just like, there's no other way to elaborate on it other than just saying they have a wicked sense of women's intuition. Like, before you know something, they feel it in their gut. They can, but they can only do or say so much, because women are naturally shy and timid themselves. Women aren't natural aggressors. Women aren't natural they're not natural aggressors. They're not going to, okay, I can sense this feeling, I can sense this energy, let's talk about it, let's bring it up. Most women aren't going to do that. Now, in today's time, there's a subsection of aggressive women that are, because they realize if the men that they're with or the men that they're around are too shy and too timid, nothing will ever fucking come out. So they got to put on the big boy pants and they got to speak their mind. But most women, like a majority, they're just there. You know what I'm saying? They're just in that space with that energy that they can't speak on until the man decides he's fucking man enough and ready enough to say something, which in that scene, Bear clearly wasn't. I don't think I'm not going to say he ever would come to that point, but maybe you can, because, brother, she put it on a T for you. Bear, do you like me or not? If you do, now is the time to tell me, and you don't tell her. But you sitting here practicing speeches on fucking waitresses at the beginning of the movie. What do we work towards? What do we work so hard for? Why do we work so hard?
to the point where she's visibly annoyed having to say this, and the whole situation would have been avoided if he had 10% more balls. And of course he doesn't tell her because he's playing the whole nice guy role, and also there just wouldn't be a movie if he was like, yeah, I like you. But a lot of women apparently resonated with this scene. They could relate to the experience of having this guy friend or male orbiter around her who...
I disagree, right? Like I like to play with these theories in my head about the movie. Now, one of the theories that I literally just thought of recently is, what if he does come out and say, okay, I do like you. Like, I do like you. I want to be with you. I'm romantically interested in you. And she instantly just shuts that door. And I'm not saying just shut it like, like how most nice girls reject nice guys. No, what if she instantly slams that door, like shuts it, says, this will never happen. You're literally just a brother to me, and that's all you will ever be in this life. Then what if we get to the concept where it's like, he can't handle that rejection. He can't handle that. So he takes out the one wish willow, and then, you know what I'm saying? And then he proceeds to make that wish, knowing that in that reality, if he does not make that wish, they can never be a thing. They would never be a couple. They would never be something in his head that he always envisioned them to be. Now, I believe that becomes the bear that most people that just instantly hated the character, that instantly just was like not even giving him a chance to see in his side as to why he did the things he did up until the end. Then you can go into it from the beginning of the movie hating this nigga because he made that wish with ill intentions, because he knows, if I never made that wish, we would never be together. She clearly and verbally expressed that she does not like me. So now, out of desperation and out of selfishness, I'm literally making this wish, hoping that I can override her autonomy, override her mental, and she can become a possession of mine. She can be obsessed with me because I'm obsessed with her, and I can't not have this girl. Then we can hate Bear off rip. Like, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Come on.
Clearly he has feelings for her, but doesn't have the balls to say so. And it bothers them to their core. Like, they're quite literally disgusted when a guy acts like this. Whether you're nice or not, that's a moot point. They just hate that passivity on guys. Like, women don't necessarily dislike kindness. As a matter of fact, if they don't have issues, they actually appreciate it, right? They just hate the weakness. Like, if there's anything you could take from that, understand that they would much rather you be less nice and have some balls and edge to you as a guy versus being more nice, but you're kind of like a shy, passive. And the main character girl of the movie kind of speaks to this because she was annoyed and frustrated by his passivity, but she was also hooking up with the guy best friend who was playing the asshole. But yeah, I was looking at the reactions to the movie and I was like, why does this have to turn into a gender thing? Like, I just thought it was a good movie. Like, can't you guys just appreciate some art? Like, I saw a TikTok with millions of views that said this is a prime example of how men's obsession with women can ruin a woman's life.
And I hate that some people walked away from the movie with that ideology, where it's like nowadays, like with a lot of things nowadays, people tend to turn it into this whether it's a sex war, men versus women, white versus black, Christian versus Jewish. Like, everybody's tries to like make sides to something, and like naturally it tends to happen, but it's just like, it kind of sucks for the art itself. Like, the movie is art itself, and it's open to interpretation however you ever want to interpret it. But for that to be your first, like, oh my god, this only happened because male patriarchy, oh my god, like if men just mind their business, this wouldn't have happened. Oh my god, if Bear would have just been a fucking man and just told her how he feel and she would have shot him down, this wouldn't have happened. Like, this doesn't have to be that, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't never have to be man versus woman. This is not a man, because realistically, this could have been a woman that made this wish, and then it would have been the opposite. But then think about it. If this, like, I seen this thing where it's like, if the movie was switched and it was a man that was going this hard for Nikki, y'all would have hated this nigga too. Like, I feel like the character Bear would have got hate regardless. You know what I'm saying? If he's the shy, timid guy that made the wish, that made the girl fall in love with him, and to the point where it drove her crazy and broke her, y'all hate him. If she made the wish that this guy loved her, and he becomes overbearing and possessive, and you know what I'm saying, he's killing everybody in her life that he sees as a threat that's gonna take her away. Y'all would hate this nigga too. So I just hate that perspective of let's just hate the character because he's a man that's trying to take over a woman's life, when that's not the point. The point is, be careful what you wish for, because if you get it and you're not prepared for it, it can fuck up not only your life but another person's life. Not man versus woman, but people.
And I'm like, that 1000% goes both ways. Like, of course there are guys that do some crazy shit when they're obsessed with a girl, but you don't think there's cases where there's obsessed women that have done crazy shit to ruin a guy's life? Because there's plenty of examples of that being the case. Like, it's not a gendered thing. So it wasn't just because the movie portrayed negative aspects of obsession from a guy, but it's because the obsession came from the guy who was playing the stereotypical nice guy role. And a lot of women related to that. A lot of women related to the fake nice guy that was really just shy and passive, being obsessed with them, and them not reciprocating those feelings, and then that guy becoming obsessed. This tweet right here says, "A man at war with himself will always disrupt a woman's peace." I'm like actually shaking. 150k likes. Again, right, this goes both ways. It's not a gender thing. A girl that's conflicted inside can also disrupt a guy's peace. The obsession only works because Bear lives in the middle. If he's purely innocent, then the wish is just bad luck and film loses its critique. If he's purely evil from the start, then there's no real discomfort because you're never rooting for him, and then tragedy disappears. The film needs him to be ordinary, someone you understand, someone you might even defend. The horror isn't what Bear becomes, it's realizing he was always capable of it. So is the guy sitting next to you in the theater.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Where's my clap? Where's my... That literally is the best take I've ever seen from somebody on fucking Twitter. On Twitter. But that's literally, that's I believe that's why I'm not advocating so hard for Bear's character, but I'm advocating for seeing this perspective that he's not a truly just evil individual. Like, he's not. Like, the character himself is just your typical guy who did something that he did not mean to do, and then once he realizes that he the end result is him getting what he wants out of that, then that's when he starts to do questionable things that make you, you know what I'm saying, that make you like just question his morality. You like it makes the viewer question, like, were you always capable of this? Like, was this your intention? Was this what you always wanted deep down? And then you come to realize this isn't what he wanted. This was never what he wanted. He was obsessed with the idea of a person, not the actual person. You know what I'm saying? This is a beautiful take. Beautiful take. Beautiful take.
I mean, if a girl doesn't feel the same way about me, I'm good off that. She's not the one. Bro, this scene, oh my gosh, made me so uncomfortable. Dude. Oh, man. Oh, man, I got goosebumps. I'm uncomfortable.
I feel like you don't love me as much as I do.
Oh, I'm uncomfortable.
Like, it's not mutual.
Oh, man, I am uncomfortable.
She shouldn't, though. I'm not gonna, like, you. No, I don't give a fuck what you said. Like, the scene is not funny, but it's just like, bro, she shitted. She did her shit. That uncanny valley, like, makeup, that shit really, it just, the movie does such a good job at just keeping you, like, what the fuck am I looking at? Because she's talking and her lips is not even moving and her face just looks all nasty. It's like,
uncomfortable. Yeah, there was a huge back and forth with these memes. How men look at their girlfriend of 8 years when she mentions marriage. How your girlfriend looks at you when you ask her to block the guy who raped her in 2019. Jeez. Her best friend at the bar when you're...
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. My boy Damir literally just sent me this meme. That shit is funny as hell.
Her best friend at the bar when you introduce yourself. How men look at you when you tell him to...
What they say, the fridge protecting the snacks?
block his rapist buddy male friend. Yeah, no, I'm not friends with no rapist. And if he was a rapist, then I wouldn't be friends with him. What the This was funny. Backrooms obsession. How about you head back to your room and start obsessing over some job applications? That's funny. The way Bear treats post-wish Nikki is so eerily similar to how certain men who pull their dream girl will treat her once the novelty wears off and they realize she's just a flawed human being like anyone else. The fantasy is over.
And I believe that's why this movie, like, it grasps you, because you can relate this to real life in this sense right here. And that's another beautiful tweet and another beautiful take. People are so enamored with the people that they see on social media. Social media is just it's what people want you to see. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? So you see these IG baddies and these, like, these yacht girls who they got the nice bodies, the nice faces. They out in Dubai, they out on boats, they in Miami, they look nice, they look good. You know, you're falling, like, some people genuinely fall in love with pictures of people. You know what I'm saying? They fall in love with this girl, this girl is so perfect in my eyes. She has the body. She probably is nice to talk to. She's probably pleasant to be around. Whole time she's a fucking bum in real life. And vice versa. I'm not just trying to attack women, but sometimes there's some women who see a guy or celebrity online, like, oh, this guy is so nice, he's so handsome, he's so cute, he's a Chad, he's this, he's that. Whole time this nigga don't like he's not that. He's a bum. You know what I'm saying? He's living on his friend's couch. He doesn't have nothing going for himself, but you don't know that. You're just judging him, and you're feeling some attraction of him or her based off what you see online. Like, I believe that's what this film it doesn't attack that theme mainly, but in the beginning where it shows Bear just sitting in his bed scrolling through Nikki's fucking IG feed, and he's her friend. Like, there's people out here like that, where it's like y'all are friends, y'all hang out with each other, but behind closed doors they're on your fucking Instagram just scrolling your feed every single chance they got, just completely obsessed with you, or completely obsessed with the idea that they have of you in their mind. It's crazy.
Bored, irritated, and again, this is not a gendered thing. Like, this applies to so many girls as well. Human beings in general are just drawn to novelty and their idea of you. And once that goes away, they want to leave. We need to talk about the bathroom scene when Nikki begs Bear to kill her because the other version of her is asleep. It proves that she's fully conscious and trapped inside her own mind. Yeah, that's kind of why she said it. That makes Bear the ultimate villain of the movie, not the entity. How are people still defending him? Who is defending him? It's like you just concluded.
I disagree. The movie has no villain, brother. It's like, I mean, look, I can't tell you how to see the movie. I can't tell you how to interpret it, but it's just like, if the movie, think any movie that you've seen. Like, the perfect comparison is a Disney movie. Let's look at the fucking Lion King. The villain was always Scar, because in every scene you can tell that Scar was conniving. He was trying to go behind. I ain't seen Lion King in fucking years, brother. I don't even know the premise of it. But movies that have villains, like, they're evil in every scene. You know what I'm saying? In every scene in the movie that you see them in, they're always trying to do something. They're plotting, they're scheming, they're lying, they're stealing, they're doing something. You know a bad guy when you see a bad guy. Wipe your history of the movie. When the movie starts, it opens with him expressing himself and literally just talking about how he feels. If you did not watch the movie but you're starting it, you don't go into that scene like, oh, this nigga is a bad guy. He is lying in every word in his teeth. You don't start the movie like, so I don't understand how people could say he's a villain. If he was a villain, he would have been bad from the start of the movie. He was not bad from the start of the movie. He did bad shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's people. That's life. You know what I'm saying? Let's not act like all of us ain't did some fucked up shit at one point of our life. Does that mean we're fucked up people? No, it does not. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people who are bad people and they always have bad intentions. You know what I'm saying? That's why serial killers exist. But at the same time, your typical everyday person does something bad. Something fucked up. You litter, you lie, you steal, you cheat, you do any, like, come on, let's be for real.
This narrative in your own head to be angry at something. But he's like the number one villain of the movie. Everyone hates him. The thing that makes Obsession so good is that we'll never really know if the real Nikki had feelings for Bear because he was too much of a pussy to say anything.
100%.
I mean, it was kind of implied that there was something there for him just because that scene would have been pointless if there wasn't. Like after he failed to tell her how he felt, she was like, okay, good. And then she walked away kind of upset. So that kind of implied that there was something there. But Nikki isn't obsessed with Bear. She is Bear's dead cat. She hides in the corners, watches him sleeps. The way she moves, almost like a cat. She waits by the door. Her glowing eyes in the silhouette scene mirror a cat's eyes at night. She literally brings dead things to him just like cats. I didn't think about that. Actually, maybe. Interesting. The part in Obsession where the real Nikki begs him to kill her and all he could ask her was, what's so bad about being with me? And then left was the actual horror. Nikki probably goes to prison for life at the end of Obsession, but I think if she said, this asshole wished that I'd be in love with him and a demon possessed me, the judge would have seen 500 identical cases already and they'll let her go and also give her all of Ian's money. What? The movie Obsession shows that nice guys
Retarded.
would absolutely grape you if given away. Jeez, bro. Oh my god. This has 27K likes, bro.
And the crazy part is, right, movies like this, like these like this movie is not just a movie. This shit is a cultural phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? It's crossed into that territory. But the thing with these cultural phenomenons, it gives people a chance to come out and say things that they truly feel, whether it holds no merit and no truth to it at all. You know what I'm saying? This person may have never seen this movie. If this movie was never released, this person will wait until another movie like this similarly came out or came out before, and they would say the same exact thing. Instead of Obsession, it's this. Instead of that movie, it's this. They just hate men. They hold men to the standard of doing wicked things because maybe they experienced something in their life, or maybe they've come in contact with somebody who've experienced something in their life and shared it with them, and now they just hold every man to that standard when it's just like, I don't think that's fair. I think you need to, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, not all men are good, just like not all women are good, but for you to just tag that theme to a movie that's not even the main premise of the, like, you know, this.
What the fuck? One infuriating thing about Obsession is that no one actually ever hurts Bear physically. The entire movie he's freaking out and getting covered in other people's blood, and all the women around him get beaten senseless, but this spineless little worm gets to go out on his own terms. Keyword spineless. This is where the real disdain for the main character comes from. Spineless. This is why the film was so relatable to so many people, because it's not like he was the asshole jock playing the obsessed guy, but he was playing the nice guy, the shy guy, the passive guy. That's what really irks them. The spineless little worm. The scariest part of Obsession to me was his best friend was hitting the woman he was in love with and helping him practice confessing his love to her.
And we don't really talk about that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, all the women in this movie are going to team together and team up against men because Bear is the main character and he does fucked up shit. But I feel like men, we need to come together and team up against not just Bear or niggas like Bear in a sense, but also niggas like Ian, because they create Bear. You know what I'm saying? Like the niggas like Ian who claim to be your friend, but they're, you know what I'm saying, like a real friend would have just came out and said, bro, I understand you got feelings for this girl, but this is what's been happening. This is what's been going on. But this nigga is just like playing it coy and acting as if nothing is happening. And this Bear is literally expressing how, like, I'm assuming they talk about Nikki often for him to be monologuing in a fucking diner about the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Or about the woman, sorry. But it's kind of crazy how, like, he's supposed to be your, like, this is, I'm gonna react to a video, I don't know if it's gonna be today or tomorrow, about male friendships, and this is one of the things that shows a lot of male friendships are just, they're not genuine, because a real male friendship, you're not gonna let your boy crash out about a girl that you're cracking. It's just not gonna happen. If you do, that's not your friend. So why are you allowing him to confide in you? That's weird.
I think he was kind of like jealous. Look at this dork. Nah, Ian was cool. He knew Bear just wanted to bang Nikki, so he was giving him the cheat codes, and he had proof that it worked. Notice Nikki only asked Bear if he likes her after he calls her Freaky Nikki. She pretends to hate it, but it's what she responds to. This wasn't it at all. I think he was jealous when he started getting with her. The most unrealistic part of Obsession isn't Bear's behavior, it's that these two were supposedly hooking up. Yo. Honestly, the fact that so many people are seething is just proof that this is unbelievable. Instantly, you conclude that this post is about looks. It could be also due to the fact that his character is okay, I'm not saying that. Douchebag just reinforces he's untenably ugly.
Well, that shit duplicitous. There you go, duplicitous. English major, by the way. Tap in.
What? It's only unrealistic to you because you're probably on the same attractiveness level as Ian, but you can't pull someone because you have the personality of Bear. Men truly underestimate how much personality and attitude factor into attractiveness for women. This is also a movie at the same time. Sarah was dumb as hell. You watched that girl crash out and stab herself in the face and you thought it was safe to have her man meet you in the park at 3 a.m. to make moves on him? Where's the self-preservation?
Super stupid.
I know.
Good character though. She's a good character. And I believe Sarah doesn't get talked about enough because she also, to me, how I perceived it, she's on that same playing field as Ian, which is just a bad friend because generally, like, they're all lying to each other. You don't know in a movie, you really don't know who's telling the truth, especially because you only see the movie from Bear's perspective. And you only hear things that the people decide that they want to tell Bear when it's convenient for them to tell Bear. You know what I'm saying? So you never know who's telling the truth, who's lying to who. The only thing that you know, or at least what you thought you knew, was that Bear liked Nikki, and then that shit don't even turn out to be true. Like, this whole movie is fucked, and that's why it's so perfect.
Oh, totally not a girl's girl. People saying the essay and obsession is an assault when we get the dinner scene as indication that Bear realizes Nikki is with him because of the wish, and it immediately hard cuts to him and her together in bed. Very revealing. Nah, I think that was definitely conveyed in the movie. I just saw obsession and it was very uncomfortable trying to hide an erection for 2 hours. Just watched Obsession last night, and the main takeaway is Bear's obsession with the idealized dream girl version of Nikki that doesn't actually exist, while his actual real love interest Sarah's right there the whole time. I love the detail at the start where he's watching Nikki give money to the homeless person. I like that too. And you can see that he's just thinking about he's thinking the absolute world of her, when in reality, it was Sarah's money. Oh, was it? I didn't even peep that. And yeah, this...
Honest, like, I thought about that too, but I never, like, you see it, like this is why it's good to rewatch movies 2 times or 3. Like, really, that was Sarah's charity. You fell in love with the action Nikki was doing with Sarah's charity. You know what I'm saying? It just goes to show you that, like, that person in your life that you pushing off, that you're not prioritizing, that you're not acknowledging, that you're overshadowing because you already have this idea of somebody else. Like, you got to give that person a chance. You have to sometimes. But I guess he just reading tweets. That's the end of the video. It's your boy RushMoreRick. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, comment. Let me know how you feel about it. We out of here. Deuces.